Hello everybody, so today we're going to be talking about matrix multiplication. So you're going to have a couple of different videos that you're going to need to watch. So each one of them are fairly short, so I just want you to make sure that you watch all three videos. So the first thing we got to remember is that matrix multiplication is not commutative. So that means the order matters. So when we multiply numbers together, we know that we can multiply them in any order we want. We know 5 times 3 is the same thing as 3 times 5. That's not the case with matrices, so we have to be very careful when we multiply them. So we can only multiply matrices if the columns in the first matrix match the number of rows in the second matrix. So the easiest way I can describe this would be to write out the dimension of the first matrix, so we have a 3 by 2 there, and then write out the dimensions of the second matrix, a 2 by 3. So you write them in order. If the two inner numbers match, that means you can multiply them. So if those two numbers are different, you cannot multiply them. Now, if you have a yes right there, that means that you can multiply and that your solution will have the dimensions of the outer number. So the dimensions of our answer here would be a 3 by 3. So I guess first off, I'm not requiring you guys to do these by hand, but you will have a video to explain how to do them by hand if you want to. So this is more about just making sure if you see a matrix on the ACT, you have the basics and you know what to do. So here's a good question here. Can we multiply? Let's start off with this one. A times B. Can we multiply those? Who knows, right? But what we could do is write the dimensions of A down. So A is a 2 by 2, right? And then the dimensions of B is a 2 by 3. So do the inner dimensions match? Yes. That means we can multiply these together. And our answer would have a dimension of 2 by 3, the dimensions of the outer numbers. So notice we're multiplying matrix A, which has 4 elements, matrix B, which has 6, and then we end up with a solution that has 6 elements, so 2 by 3. So let's take a look at the next example here. Can we multiply B times A? Let's see. So B is a 2 by 3, and matrix A is a 2 by 2. So notice those two numbers do not match. So no, we can't multiply them. So there'd be no solution here. It's impossible. So you definitely need to make sure you know how to do that. So if we are going to multiply, again, I'm not going to get into this because I'm going to go into this with the other video. But you take the number of the first row, matrix 1, and then you multiply each number by its corresponding number in the first column of matrix 2. And then you add them up. And then you keep working through this each step by step. So you go to column 1, then go to row 1, column 2, so on and so forth. And you'll see an example of this in the next one. So again, it's showing this idea that the inner numbers match up. So that means our solution is a 3 by 3. Notice the answer here. But again, you'll see a video on how to do these by hand and how to use technology to do them for you. So here's an example. Can we multiply it together? Yes, we can, because those numbers match. And our answer will be a 3 by 1. So now, either after you learn how to do it by hand or on a calculator, you can get to your answer. And notice it is a 3 by 1. So can we do this one? Let's see. What is that? A 2 by 3, right? And this is a 2 by 2. So those numbers don't match, so we cannot do this. We cannot multiply those two matrices together. All right, so the next thing you need to be able to find is the determinant. So this is something that you should be able to do by hand. And determinants are only in square matrices. So that means, like 2 by 2s, 3 by 3s, 4 by 4s, but we're only focusing on 2 by 2s. Now you could see it write out DET, that means determinant, or you could see the vertical bars. So notice the vertical bars. That's telling you to calculate the determinant. The determinant is a number. It is not another matrix or anything, it's just a number. So let's talk about how we can calculate it. So on 2 by 2s, all we do is we multiply the diagonal. So we go this way first. 3 times 4. That's 12. And then we go minus this way. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Well, 12 minus negative 2 is positive 14. So the value of the determinant is 14. And we'll talk more about why we need to know what the determinant is in tomorrow's lesson. That's all you got to do to calculate it. So let's calculate the value of the determinant. So here we go. We go this times this, negative 30, minus this times this, which is 8. So negative 30 times, or minus 8 is negative 38. Let's do this one. 3 times negative 7, negative 21, minus negative 4 times negative 1 is 4. So negative 21 minus 4 will be negative 25. So let's do one more example here. Make sure we got it. Draw an X. 2 times 6 is 12. Minus 8 times negative 1 is negative 8. So that's really 12 plus 8. So that would give us 20. So that's all there is to calculating determinants. We will not be worrying about any matrices bigger than a 2 by 2.